Hey, this is Mike. I am in Whiteville, North Carolina, visiting Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, and I'm checking out a 2016 Dodge Charger RT at night. So we're going to take a look at the lighting of the 16 Charger. So right now, this is your fog lights here at the bottom. They're all LED, nice and white. Here's your turn signal, and you can see the daytime running light around the outside, that signature Charger look since the 2015 models. And it has a projector headlight system, which we'll check out in a second. So now we have the headlights on, and this is the low beams. You can see it has the HID projector headlights here in the front, nice white lights. And as soon as you turn on the high beams, the fog lights will turn off. But it is a bifunction projector headlight system, and that will give you the low and the high beams out of the same projector tube, which is pretty cool. It just refocuses the lens. So here on the side of the car, you can see it has a side marker there in the front, and then you also have one here on the back, towards the back, just behind the rear wheel. And yes, there is the back of the vehicle. You can see the very iconic signature glowing red tail lights here on the 16 Charger. And there's the turn signal flashing, so you can get an idea of what that looks like. So let's take a look here in the trunk, see what kind of lighting we have. So here in the trunk we have a light here on the left and one here on the right. So that way it kind of illuminates things here in the center without too much of a shadow. And you can see in there pretty good. Let's see if I can adjust the camera a little bit just so you can get an idea a little bit better. There we go. I think that helps out with getting a real world view of what it actually looks like in the trunk of the vehicle. Yeah, that's about what it looks like. You can see all the way back in there, and there's some stuff there I put in the center just so you can get an idea of how it's illuminated with not too much of a shadow. And you can actually see under here with the battery and the little compartment there as well when you lift this up. So let's take a look here in the back seat. Look at the back door here. There's nothing backlit here in the back door. But here's your seats, and you have the illumination from two lights, one on both sides of the back seats there. And you see the seats and the floorboard are fairly well illuminated. I try to adjust the camera so it gives a real world view as if you're actually here. So hopefully this works out. There's some backlit USBs and heated seat controls there, and this folds down, and check it out, you have some illuminated cup holders here in the back seats. And you'll notice there's some floorboard illumination there on the side there, and when you actually open up the door on this side, it is a puddle light, which is pretty cool. So you can actually see, right, today's a perfect day to demonstrate a puddle light since there's puddles on the ground. So let's take a look here on the driver's side door. We have quite a bit of illumination here as far as backlit buttons. Before we get to that, I want to show you this door also has the puddle light, which you can actually see fairly well, and just an overview of what it looks like here in the driver's seat as far as the illumination from the interior lighting. So here's your little bit of a light under here. It's kind of soft light just below where your bottle holder and stuff is. I don't know if you can see that. You got a light there. You also have an illuminated button down here for your fuel door, and here's your buttons here for your window controls and stuff like that on the door. It's all backlit, so you can really easily see and then your presets for your power seat are there. You have a little bit of light behind the handle as well, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and take a look here on the inside. Here's the interior lights, and you have the ability to turn those on and off. But right now, since the door is open, they're both on. So I just want to show you what it looks like with the interior lights on. So you can see the floorboards are illuminated, and you also have illumination under the dash, which hopefully we'll be able to see that in a second, because the camera doesn't like to focus on things that have no detail. So let's go ahead and shut the door, and the interior lights kind of slowly fade away. So now we're stuck with the backlit buttons, which is really amazing in this vehicle. Okay, so let's go ahead and start over here. So you have your headlight controls, you have your two dimmers. Now I just want to mention your two dimmers, you have one on the left and one on the right. The left dimmer is for your interior gauges. So you can adjust your gauges all the way down like so, and then you can move them up and full blast, and then if you push it up all the way, turns on all your interior lights in the vehicle. So I'm going to leave it full blast just so we can see them very good. And then the other dimmer switch here on the right side is for your ambient light. So the ambient light that it adjusts is here in the door and also in the floorboard. So hopefully you can see that floor mat back under here, and I'm just gonna move this dimmer switch up and down so you can see. You can completely turn it off, and then you can go all the way up to there. Now it gives you a soft moonlight type light, which helps out with your just kind of getting your bearings with your feet and stuff, and it's the same thing on the other side. Let's take a look at the steering wheel, which is awesome. You have all these different color codes here with your hanging up your phone and stuff and answering your phone, and then you have all these backlit buttons. Really awesome. You can see them really good at night. Doesn't matter how dark it is and how much you're in the dark. It's one of those soft backlit buttons that they don't interfere with your night vision or anything, but you can just see really well. Same thing on that side. So I have the gauges kind of full blast, so they're a little bit brighter, I guess, than I would normally drive around. And I guess that right there would probably be where I would normally put it. But you can check it out. You've got those red dials, and then the white lettering, and the needles are in red. Really awesome looking. I'm going to kind of scroll through the menu system here just so we can get an idea of what it looks like. There's your speedometer looking good. And your gauge, vehicle info gauge is there. Yeah, all that looks awesome. Okay, so let's take a look at the screen. Now the touch screen is part of the gauges as far as adjusting the brightness. So right there is probably easier on my eyes if I was driving around. So we can take a look at different screens here. Let's take a look at the map. You can see the map is now in night mode, so you can see it has the black background, which is awesome. So that's the basics of the touchscreens there as far as the way it looks. Let's take a look over here. You have your backlit start button, and then all your backlit buttons down here for your climate control and your volume knobs. You even have a little bit of a backlit power supply here, and it's lit up on the inside as well. So just in here to the left is your little storage pocket, and it has a little light in there as well, helping you out. And check out the shifter. You've actually got some lights there showing what gear you're in. Let's go ahead and put it in reverse so we can take a look at the backup camera. So it's kind of rainy and stuff right now, but still, even with water and everything on the camera, you can see pretty good back there. So there's your cup holders. Just like in the back, you have this ambient glow, like Tron movie or something there, which is pretty cool. Take a look in here. Here's your inputs for your radio, all backlit, which is awesome. You also have a backlit power supply there as well. Now I've got a little bit of light, quite a bit of light coming in from these street lights. So it's a little bit interfering with some of the interior lights as far as the way it looks, but I'm trying to represent the vehicle as best as possible, so hopefully you can get that in the video. So you have some more backlit buttons up here for your sunroof, and then your garage door openers. Now the interior lights, you have this floodlight by pushing that, and then you have this tap light here. So this is more of a spotlight, that's more of a floodlight. And then you have this little tiny thing. I try to mention this during the day, but there's this little tiny ambient light that illuminates just down here. So if it was like pitch black here, you would be able to see just a tiny little bit of you know, soft moonlight type light there in the center of the vehicle, which helps out with visibility and just kind of getting your bearings in the vehicle, which I really like. Let's take a look here in the glove compartment. See, it has that shelf system, and it has some lights there on the top, a little bit of a shadow there on the underneath the little shelf there, so but still not bad at all. It still has some really good illumination there. And let's check out the visors. They have lights in them with a little mirror there, so you can check yourself out if you need to. And I like the way that has two lights, so you don't have a huge shadow on your nose. You also have some backlit buttons here on the rearview mirror, in case you need some assistance there. So there you have it, 2016 Dodge Charger at night. Checking out all the lights and everything. Hopefully this has been helpful. And thank you for watching, and thank you to Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Whiteville, North Carolina, for allowing me to show off an awesome vehicle. I'll see you next time.